This is
Edge of Sports on the PPI Network
with your host, Dave Zirin. You're listening to Edge of Sports Radio with Dave Zirin.
We're back here on Edge of Sports Radio. Our first guest is a two-time Super Bowl winner with the New England Patriots. He's also the winner of the 2011 New Vision Magazine Award, which is a salute to urban professionals in business, acknowledging his athletic career, his philanthropy, and his business and entrepreneurial vision. His name is Jarvis Green. Jarvis, how you doing, sir?
Good, guys. What's going on this morning?
Well, before we get started, I got to ask you first and foremost, we're asking everybody this. Did you see the World Series game last night?
No, I didn't.
Are you a baseball guy? A little bit?
I am a little bit. I just been really busy working, man, so I really haven't been watching much TV.
See, I watch my little. You're a New
what's
England
up?
Patriots guy, so that whole Red Sox fever thing never quite took over?
The first few years when I was there, it did, but I guess I got past that now.
So you said you've been busy. What have you been up to, Jarvis?
I work out in North Dakota, man. You ever heard about the big oil boom out there, the Bakken Shale?
Yeah. What's been going on out there in North Dakota?
I've been building man camps, lodge for the oil field workers. It's a, you know what? It's the biggest oil find. I mean, compared to the world, compared to the OPEC countries. Mm-hmm. Right now, they're saying over 20 billion barrels of oil in the ground, and they don't have enough housing, enough infrastructure for the oil field workers and for the oil companies that comes in. So we're building like hotels.
How did you get hooked up with that?
Maybe about a year ago, man. I Googled like crazy. That's what I do when I'm home, when I'm bored, and I saw it because I bought into a construction company about 17, 18 months ago in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Mm-hmm. And then we went up there, and then we talked to a lot of the locals and got in, made some great relationships, with economical development of different towns, and we leasing about 400 acres right now in North Dakota. But we've been moving around, and I have my own company called Commodore Investments. But when I went to school, I graduated in engineering.
You went to
2002.
LSU. Yeah.
Yes, sir. The number one team in the country, correct?
That is correct.
Yes, sir.
That is
I wanted to make sure everybody knew that. So.
Well, I mean, their defense is so fast. I mean, I wonder if half the NFL teams could get a touchdown off those LSU Tigers, man.
I know, man. They're playing pretty strong, and they got like a 3-4 defense also that I've noticed. So they're getting ready for the next level.
Now, how did going to LSU prepare you for this kind of a business career?
I did a lot of different internships, man. I know just the academics and the things that LSU bring is a big engineering school. A lot of the professors have a lot of knowledge, because when I was at LSU, most of the books we used was a lot of the professors' books. Mm-hmm. So that tell you that right there on far as the degree of the education and the status. And I've done an internship for 5 years working with the Shaw Group. Shaw Group is a Fortune 500 company, and right now they're about a $7 billion company. So I know I worked there for 5 years. I'm bragging a little bit about them, proud of them and proud that I had an opportunity to learn under that company. So
you're from Louisiana also, right?
Yes, Baton Rouge. A small town called Donaldsonville, but I live in Baton Rouge now.
So you're from Louisiana. You're getting involved in the oil business right now. Have you been down there to investigate along the Louisiana coast, the oil spill, and how things are going there in terms of cleanup?
No, I haven't, because where I live at, that's about 3 hours away from. That's like the bottom of the earth. That's what we call it in Louisiana. And I know this though. They still have a lot of people down there still cleaning the beaches. I know BP is very heavily involved still. Trying to, because just like the what's that, the Valdez oil spill.
Right.
People, when was that? What year was that?
Good Lord, the Exxon Valdez was the first Bush administration, so that was over 20 years ago.
Okay, well, guess what? They're still cleaning oil up to this day.
That's unbelievable.
So
is that something you're conscious of when you're out in the Dakotas, is thinking of talking about safety and just safeguards in this amazing project that's going on in the Dakotas right now?
I am, but you know what? With the oil, it's different because it's not in the water. It's on land. And that's a totally different cleanup. And right now, the country hasn't really, like the government hasn't really focused their attention over there yet because it's still kind of early. But I think when you start having companies like Exxon, Shell, BP walk in, I think a lot of it's going to change.
So you're saying you got in on something before it really got out there?
Oh yeah, it's early, man. I mean, right now it's maybe 5,000 wells in the ground that they drilled. They're gonna drill about 40,000 holes in the ground. So this started in 2006. This is the third oil boom though, because the first two they didn't have fracking. Now you could frack. You could drill horizontally. So that changes the game.
Yeah, and I know that there's certainly a lot of debate about fracking, about how it affects the earth, how it affects the environment. I mean, they have that famous picture of people turning on their water. I don't know if you've seen that,
right.
And the flames shoot out of the faucet.
Yes.
They said this is high-tech stuff. This is dangerous material.
You know what? It is, and that's why there are only so many fracking companies in the world. I don't think they even have 20 fracking companies in the world. 6 billion people, all everywhere. So you have to be pretty good at what you're doing with that. But at the same time, people complain, but I mean, hey, oil is the number one, resource that comes out of the earth that is so valuable.
So Jarvis, let me ask you this: you're obviously having a lot of success now that your playing career has really just ended. Like, why do you think so many NFL players have a tough time making that adjustment?
That transition, starts from day one when you're in the NFL. Guys go in and play and think they're, invincible and they're powerful. They're going to be playing for 15, 20 years. You hear the numbers. For every guy that played 15 years, 10 guys played 2 years. And they forget about that. And you could go out there in your yard, cutting your grass, you could have a freak accident and cost your career. But if you go and get your degree out of college, and even not that, some guys go to the military, but get some type of degree, some type of trade education that when you're done with football. But don't wait till you're done with football. Do it while you're playing, because I did 2 different internships for 4 years while I was playing football, because I know I wasn't going to be playing all my life. I've been blessed to play 9 years. But when it was time to make the transition, I took off my helmet and put on a suit.
How rare is that for a player to do internships? Like, how many of your teammates did that, internships, while you're an active NFL player?
I don't know the percentages, man. I don't want to sit there and throw people in the bus, but I think with 1,500 to 1,600 guys, maybe 200 guys, I think, or 300 guys that did internships, I assumed. But you could do an internship, but then you got to follow through and move to the next step,
And does the NFL help facilitate those internships, or did you?
Oh yeah, the NFL does. We have so many different programs that's there for the players, but you could bring you could bring a horse to the water, however it go, but
can't make it drink.
But you can't make them drink. Yeah, let them die of thirst if you want to die of thirst. And but that's the biggest thing, man. Guys got to understand, because today's market and money and inflation, $1 not what it used to be 10, 20 years ago. Now,
the hardest thing to do in the NFL, and I want to see if we can connect this to your philanthropic and your business career. The hardest thing to do in the NFL in this era of parity seems to be sustained excellence. And you played for, I think, probably the only team in the NFL, you can't even put the Colts in this category anymore, that has achieved sustained excellence, of course, the New England Patriots. Looking back, how do you think the Patriots as an organization have been able to create an atmosphere of sustained excellence, and what lessons did you draw from your experience there?
With the Patriots, man, I mentioned this before earlier with the interview: integrity, pride, leadership, not from one person, from everybody in the room, accountability, and when someone's not watching, you still do your job. You didn't have to have a coach say, "Hey, man, go watch film," or "Come and lift weights." Guys, we was beating each other to the weight room to go work out. We was trying to see who knew more information when we go in every week. We get our film after we play a game. We get our film on Sunday with the DVDs. We go home for that Monday, Tuesday. We watching film, getting ready for Wednesday. Who we gonna play next? So before coach even talk about it, it's an hour ahead. We know they do this, they do that, and that was the competition that we had amongst the guys in a locker room. We had contests for who gonna hydrate the most. Now,
how do you create
little
an
things.
Atmosphere like that? No one's gonna confuse Bill Belichick with, say, like Vince Lombardi in terms of doing like a big barn buster speech and trying to, crying and getting under people's skin. Like,
he
seems like a super quiet, measured guy. How does he create that kind of atmosphere?
You know what? I don't want to sit there and give all Bill's secrets away.
Oh, okay.
but Bill Demeanor, man, Coach Bill Demeanor, and it's like that little kid and your dad come and whisper that stuff in your ear, and you look at him and he knows he's dead serious. Mm-hmm. You don't have to put a hand on you, but you're going to do it right the next time just because you have that kind of faith in that. And hey, I mean, it's love in the locker room. You have that kind of faith in that love, and you trust that guy, because we know this business. It's a business. We know that. But if you perform every day and do what you have to do in this business, you shouldn't fail. Mm-hmm. It's not like you invest in money. You invest in time, sweat, effort, and it's NFL. It's the physical part of it is past. It's more mental. Is what you could do, how much film you could break down, knowing your opponents. And just being a smart player, man. And with Coach Belichick, he teaches you that. And a lot of times, I remember for practice, I mean, it was a lot of, we game plan. We try to be smarter than the next person or against the next team. And it's not always about brute and strength,
Was Bill Belichick the kind of coach who would set expectations and say you need to reach them? Or was he the kind of coach that would be dressing players down in front of other players? Because there's two kinds of coaches, the kind that treats you like a man and expects you to do your work, and the kind that really is like the kind of taskmaster and tries to dress people down. Where was Coach in that sort of pendulum?
You know what? Anybody could have came in there from another team. It could have been a superstar. We had a bunch of superstars that came on our team from other teams. And don't really have to say their names. People know who they are. Mm-hmm. But he addressed those guys like anybody else. I mean, days when Brady had a bad game, he got talked down just like any other person on the team. Mm-hmm. And I think when guys come in and see that, they're like, damn, this dude is serious. Mm-hmm. He don't care, man. It's not about, oh, you're the best guy on the team, I'm going to treat you like royalty, I'm going to treat this other guy like crap. It was never that. He treated everybody fair. Everybody saw that the oldest guy, the best guy on the team, he got it. Mm-hmm. When he messed up, he got it. So that was enough right there.
So something like with the Washington Redskins, this is where I live, a couple of years ago when Clinton Portis was mad at the coach, so he went to the owner, and the owner had him up in the box for some champagne while they talked smack about the coach. That wouldn't happen in New England, I'm guessing.
That would never happen. Ever.
It's the difference between a functional and dysfunctional franchise, I suppose. I'm hoping you can also give us some insight into something else, Jarvis, because we've been talking all day about the fact that the NBA lockout might be over soon. I know you're very connected with players still. When these lockouts end, is it like just back to business, or are there feelings that still need to be tended to on a given team?
Well, I've never experienced that because after the lockout, I was retired. Mm-hmm. But talking to other guys, I guess that's what you're asking.
Yeah.
Guys very happy to get back to business, man, because in Baton Rouge, Ryan Clark is a neighbor of mine. Mm. And I can remember when I was, down in the summertime, he was out there working out every morning, in the heat, working, during when the sun go down. He got like a little pool in his backyard, and he got all his equipment. I used to go over there with my beer, hanging out, and hey, what's up, man? What's going on? He out there working his butt off, and every day he was like, man, I got to get back to work, man. I got to get back to work. Hope this lockout got to end, man. Ready to play some football. Mm-hmm. But hearing it from a guy like that, won Super Bowls, team leader, and I think a lot of guys like him are feeling the same way. This is what we do. We play football. This is our work schedule. When it's time to start at the end of July to February, this is all we know. And guys, this is what they're hoping for.
Mm. And before you go, first of all, thank you so much for your time, Jarvis.
Oh, yes, sir. Thanks for inviting me on the show.
Now, I want to hear about how this NV Award this New Visions magazine seems to take up philanthropic issues, entrepreneurial issues. How did that come to pass?
You know what? I think I had opportunity last year to go. I was nominated, and I'm so happy that I could be able to come this year with my wife. We flew in from Denver this morning, took the red eye. But for New Vision magazine, it's a great magazine. We don't have a lot of African American magazines out there. We have Black Enterprise, we have Jet, we have Ebony, we have Envy. Envy is huge. I mean, the articles, the things that they have, the people that they talk about are some real, African Americans who are making a move, making a change. So I would, stress that people go out there and get that magazine to check it out and see what our community is doing. And for me to be part of that legacy, just to get the torch handed down, and also just being just showing by action, man. And that's the biggest thing, for the younger groups that's watching this. And just the honor to be here in New York City.
Do you see yourself
to receive that award?
Do you see yourself as a mentor for young people, particularly young African Americans trying to figure their way in business?
Yes, I think so, man, because one thing about business people don't understand, I mean, it's only a few people that start business and be successful at it. Only a few, small percentage. But then you have those that have, they mess up on this, they didn't make it here, they didn't get this done. But at the end of that road, you keep striving, man, and having, adversity is number one. That's in life. And in business, it's the same thing. You take the big risks, that's what happened. If you put in $1, you're going to lose $1. But hopefully the younger culture can see that and grow and learn, man. It's not about big rims and all the jewelry flash. It's about doing something. But first, getting an education, man. That's how all this stuff happens. You do have billionaires who don't have the education, but it's only a small percentage. But a lot of people have opportunity to go get a degree, and they could be an entrepreneur.
Well, Jarvis Green, thanks so much for joining us on Edge of Sports Radio.
Oh, thank you, guys. Y'all have a great midday, afternoon, whatever you want to call it.
and let's see if you could watch Game 7 of the World Series tonight if you have some time.
I'm going to try. Thank you, guys.
Be well. And we'll be back right after this on Edge of Sports Radio.
Don't move. Dave Zirin will be right back with more Edge of Sports Radio.
Breaking news, in-depth coverage, unparalleled access to professional athletes. Edge of Sports on the PPI Network.
With your host, Dave Zirin.